Good morning and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. Here we are to Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. I'm glad you found me on Facebook. This is the morning live stream that's on at 10 o'clock Monday through Friday. And on the weekends, it's 8 o'clock. Today is Friday, the 22nd of August. And I have on the weekends, it's at 8 o'clock in the morning. Then my evening show is Fight CPS, Stop Taking Our Children. That's on at 7 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. So that's 14 live streams a week that I'm on. Now, one of the ways to interact with this live stream is to text a message, either a question or comment about CPS. And I have the banner put up that tells you exactly what to do with it. And where it says the country, don't worry about the country. You can just put, I know all the states and country. That is for my 22 countries that have listened to my live stream. I'm heard around the world, from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India, then up to Middle East to Saudi Arabia and Libya, then over to the continent of Africa to Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, then Rwanda, and then Mozambique, and then the provinces of South Africa. Then I'm up to Europe, to England, Scotland, Wales, United Kingdom, and then Denmark and Sweden. Across the pond in North America, I have Canada, and it's the provinces. Then all 50 states in USA, including even Washington, D.C. And then south of border, Mexico. And then in South America, we have north of Brazil on the east coast, Grenada. Then across the South Pacific, I have New Zealand and land down under, Australia and its states. So I have a wide diversity of people. So I really like to have you here, because I'm here to help you with your case. Now, there are a couple other things too. There's been approximately 2,500 people here. And besides texting a message here, you can also be a guest on my live stream. To be a guest on my live stream, all you do is email my show producer. Pick one of my 14 live streams. I want to be in Bob's Sunday evening show, or Saturday morning show, or Friday evening, whatever, one day of the week, and you just pick it. Morning or evening, Monday through Sunday. And she'll send you a link, and that'll take you to a software application where you can get on to the SteamYard, which is a software application. And there you can be a guest. I can take up 9 of you. So that means with me, that's 10 can be on there talking at one time. So I love to have you there. Now, our email is right there on the screen, grace@vincentwdavis.com. Now, we have also my phone number. My phone number is 626-698-0990. And you want to call me at that number, you can reach me. The other number, 888-888-6582, is the law office of Vincent W. Davis. And you can reach him, who's my attorney, at that number. You just talk to reception, tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And if you talk to Mr. Davis, tell him that Bob Pace sent you. And also, when you call that number, you can find out the schedule of live streams, and you can also find out the the uh, um, books and pamphlets and their guides that will help you with CPS. There are also packages of deals and everything with Vincent Davis, so that should be really, really, really good there. Now, but that's my number. I put it up there, and then I have up here. I have the list of objects there. Now, um, this is the interactive live stream, meaning that your voice does count. It's important to hear from you. You all have concerns. We all have something in common. The over 2,500 people that have talked to me in the last 22 months since October of 2023, including myself, have run into what I call a rogue CPS. 50% of the time, you're going to encounter a bad CPS government agency that is very corrupt. They will take your children even though they're not in danger. They will try to traffic your children into foster care and alienate you, the parents, from their children. It's bad, it's wrong, it's illegal. The reason why I mentioned my attorney, Vincent W. Davis, is that you'll need a special tool to fight CPS. Fighting CPS is like open heart surgery. Fighting CPS is like open heart surgery, and you have to know what to do and what to say and how to say it, because to navigate it is terrible. You're like Alice in Wonderland. You're lost. You meet the Chester cat because you fell in the rabbit hole, and that cat sends you every place that you don't make sense. That's what CPS is like. It's very, very corrupt. They embezzle money. They also lie and retaliate, and you can't trust them. Um, they also do medical trafficking too, which is bad. So I implore you to be very, very, very careful. Very, very, very careful. And so I really encourage you all to ask me questions about your case or what you need to do or this or that or anything else. Um, I also have a group that are regulars here. I want to say hello to my family out there. Please, if you're listening, please come back and talk and ask me questions. I want to help you. I want to help you with what you have to say. All right. So I've been doing this now for a long time, and I've been fighting CPS for 15 years. I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father and a husband. I've helped raise 6 children. 3 of them are oldest, and they have a family of their own. They weren't involved when I was involved in CPS. And then my wife, I have 42 years of marriage and 61 years of life skills. So I have a lot that I can share with you. And when I did mention an attorney, the reason why I mentioned an attorney is that that is a tool for you to fight CPS. And there's a thing we forget about It's called legal insurance. So I encourage you all to look into it. It is available for a nominal fee. I found anywhere from 50 cents to $1 per year. So let's say it's $1, it's 365 is the premium. It's well worth it because they'll give you the retainer, which Vincent Davis, who works out of LA County, but he also go to any state. His retainer is $5,000 approximate for Los Angeles County in California. His hourly wage is $500 an hour. And so that is his wages. Now, his background is pretty extensive. He's been an attorney for um, fighting CPS for 39 years. And he was once brought up as a foster child, so he knows about the foster system. He has a proven track record and he's gotten back thousands of children from CPS. He's a fighter. Not only that, he's done civil lawsuits where he has fought CPS by suing them and won millions of dollars both in state court and federal court. He's the real deal. So you should think about hiring him because he's the guy that I hired that got back my children too. So I recommend it. But I'm here if you, for instance, are an Indian tribe member or Native American Indian. There's the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978, which will help you in your Indian children. There's a Motion 38 that you fill out a JV 180 form that helps you introduce new information into the court. And you should know about that. There's lots of things you have to know about. Um, there's the Guardian of Lightum and ACASA. Now, ACASA is a court appointed special advocate. And they're supposed to be advocates for the best interests of children in care of CPS. But they have a tendency to put ideas in people's heads. And I recommend that you don't talk to them. If you do, you just be very polite to them because they're not going to have your best interests. They're not going to have your best interests. So they are fact finding. They investigate circumstances of child case report. And yeah, they connect with children. They trick the children to say things. That's the most sad part is our children are so susceptible to what is happening there. What is happening there. Now, a guardian ad litem is just like a casa, and it's supposed to be this person that could help them. It's outside help. Often it's a family member, a close friend, or even an attorney who are referred to as a guardian ad litem. They play a temporary role in legal cases involving children by ensuring the children's needs stay at the forefront of the decision making. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I don't think the guardian ad litem or the CASA or even the ombudsperson. Now, a guardian ad litem is a court appointed representative of a child's best interests. And they are appointed to minors and those who are unable to advocate for themselves. They're supposed to be a neutral entity, such as an attorney or a social worker, and can be nominated to represent the child in question if they're over the age of 18. Now, I got my phone number up. Anyway, the number is available 626-698-0990. I can only talk one person at a time. So please call me. Please call me. Um, one second. I'll be. Oh, I got. Um, I had to check on a connection, and I didn't want to. I'm told always to remove myself when I adjust something. So I had to get power. So hopefully that will work there. And I was checking my phone here. Um, 10:53. Well, what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for things that we could talk about. Um, hold on one second here. Mhm. A little bit about the history of CPS. We've been worried about our children for a long time. We've been worried about our children for a long time. Mm. Now, one thing that comes across my mind that you guys, if you do hear this video, is how to deal with CPS when they come knocking on my door. Well, one thing you should understand is that CPS is not to be trusted. If they come knocking your door, they're coming there because someone has made a complaint, either a layperson or a person is required by law to report. These reporter individuals are called professionals and laymen. And professionals are right about half the time to get the cases right. And the layperson is right about a fourth of the time. So those are terrible odds. They're not in good your favor. Another thing is too, if you answer the door, let them in your house or give permission to come in, it's going to ruin your life. You don't want to do that. You want to be quiet. Remember, your home is your castle. You don't have to open the door to strangers. You need to get professional help. And one thing, if you encounter government people outside, you ask them if this is a legal matter. If it's a legal matter, you're allowed by your constitution to have an attorney represent you through all phases. So you can tell them right off the bat, this is a legal matter. I need to get my attorney present. I'll get back to you. You get their name and their phone number, how they get in touch with them, and then you go and find an attorney and arrange a time to talk to them. You try not to talk to them at their office or at your home. You want to talk at a public place like Starbucks, the library, McDonald's, some place that you can talk in the open. And you just don't want to talk at the home. The home's the worst place to do so. And it's sad how this all came into play today. It was really sad. My case was bad because in 2010, I'd lost my forever job. And I struggled because I was 60 years old in 2010. And shortly after losing my job, I started getting calls from CPS. I did not know that my in laws, my wife's father, mother, three sisters, and her brother were calling in once a week from Ohio to California, making up stories alleging that we are doing things awful to our children, which wasn't the case. And for 5 years, this went on. I tried to prove that they're wrong. I tried to prove that they're wrong. And it was sad because then on 2015, 5 years later, they invaded my home. They invaded my life. They took control of my life. And like a fool, I talked to them with open arms and I thought I could trust and depend on them. I had no idea that the Orange County Child Protection Service was corrupt and that they were determined to take our children away. I thought they had to have, a danger. Our children were in school. They were not in danger. They had their own rooms, their own bathroom. It's a beautiful home in a private neighborhood a mile to the beach. And the only hiccup in my life at that time was that I'd lost my job. And they made it worse for me. They made it worse for me because I had to spend what little bit of money I had left to pay for the mortgage. And my retirement, I had to pay for the mortgage. But then, when after a year of fighting them with a court appointed attorney, which was useless, I had to hire an attorney. That's when I hired Mr. Davis. I quick sold my home, and once I paid off the first and second mortgages, the money I had left was given to Mr. Davis to help bring my kids home, bring my two boys back. It was a sad thing to see all my money go into fighting for my kids. I don't know. If I knew now what I know now, I would never have lost my home. I would never have lost my children. And that's sad. There are 5 rules that I've come up with. And one of them is you have to get an attorney, a real attorney, that's trained in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law, that has experience of fighting CPS and getting children back, that can do a civil lawsuit and fight him monetarily. Because my social worker, she lied on the stand. She committed perjury. We caught her in court, but she retaliated. She retaliated so bad she convinced her daughter, 12, that you need to divorce your parents, divorce your family. You need to change your name completely. You need to seal your birth certificate, get a new birth certificate, get a secondary social security card, and double dip for my social security retirement. And then she was adopted by, you know, a foster care. She thought that was the answer. She thought that was the answer. She's now 33 years old. I have not seen her. We've not seen her since 12. During the proceedings, they're supposed to have visitations with their children, but they determined not to. And it's sad what they did. There's a lot of things they did that was wrong and bad. There's a lot of things. And I regret what came down or what happened. It was wrong. This is a hard thing to talk about my case. And I really feel Very, 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 very sad. Anyway, through these live streams, over 2,000 live streams, 2,500 people over these 22 months, I've relived my case over and over and see the mistakes I made. And so what I try to do is share them with you, share them with you. Um, Now, all of you that have called in, I have helped you. I've cared about you and what is really said or done. So I really um, support what you do or say. It's a very, very hard thing to go through this without support or help. So many of you have come into my room and told me horrific stories that I cannot believe are taking place not only around the U.S. but around the world. Around the world. Now, besides getting an attorney, you're going to have to also document everything that you do. What I mean by document, you should start off with a journal and make it addressed to your kids. A journal is a good way to get things off your chest and talk about what happened during the day. There's a TV show called Doogie Howser, MD, about a young kid who was a doctor at the age of 16 or 17 or something really young. But every night he'd go to his computer and write a journal about what his day was. And if you do a journal, it will help you therapeutically and also help your children one day when they, if you ever get back to your children, it's a document that will help that you give to your children. Another document is the incident time log. Incident time log is a document you create where you devote 3 lines for every incident. Incidents can be all kinds of incidents from the police, from the social workers, from your children, from the school, whatever the incident is. The first line should always be the date and time of the incident and whether you called in or was called or they called you or you saw them in person, and you want to list if you call in the phone number, if you saw them in person, the location, or you saw them, their location, and then the people involved. Who are the people involved? The names. Then the second line is a summary of what the incident was about, just a one sentence summary. And then the third line is a summary of what the results of the incident. If it hasn't resolved, you'll keep it open. That'll remind you that you need to resolve it. And you can look at it 6 months from now, a year from now, and you'll be able to see it. So that is part of your documentation. You want to get that tabs and have a tab that organizes your documents, your court papers, um, your parenting classes certificates, the special program certificates, the courts from the paperwork from the social services, the paperwork from the judge, the court, and so forth. So you organize it all in the documents. That's what's really important. Then three is you do not allow them to come into your home or open your door. You don't have to. There's only three ways they can come into your home. One, if you give them permission or someone in your home does. Two, they hear noises of harm to a child, fighting going on, screaming, yelling, hurting. They will break in. And three is if they have a court order, and it has to be a valid warrant. There's a lot of warrants out there that are used or fake. You have to be careful about them. Warrants have to be issued on a work day. There's no court on the weekends. And if it's during the weekdays and it happens to be on a holiday, then it's a bogus warrant. The warrant's got to have the correct date and time on it, and the list of the person they're investigating and the people they're making allegations of. It's neglect or abuse or both, and the children's names. Then it's got to have specific directions, what they can do and not do. What they can do and not do. That's what they have to do. That's what they have to do. So, that warrant, if you happen to see it when you're outside your home, um, you can acknowledge it, look it over, and tell them that you need to have your attorney present because it's a legal matter, and you'll get back to them. You'll get back to them. Now, another thing that happens is called medical trafficking, and that's where you either take a child in an urgent care emergency room at the hospital or you're having a baby. And if you test positive, now social workers work in the hospital, they're going to try to take your baby away from you. First of all, drugs, smoke, and alcohol should not be a part of your family life right now when you're raising children. They're not old enough to drink or smoke or do drugs. And that's a no no. And I know it's hard because your lifestyle. You have to do that away from your family. That's something that's sacrifice to having children. Because if it was legal, then they wouldn't be of age, but they're not of age. They got to be 21 to drink alcohol or smoke cigarettes. Drugs, there are many drugs that are illegal and many drugs that are not. And again, they have to be 21. Now, this medical trafficking, if they hear that you're trying to get something wrong with a child, they're going to step in. You got to be careful. You just say, no, thank you. Please leave me alone. Do not take directions from them. Don't talk to them. One of the hardest things to do is talking to them. Every time you talk to them, they use what they say against you. So you just got to be really nice to them and tell them you need your attorney present. You need your attorney present. Now, my number's been up here for quite some time, and we've had people come and go in here, and you're welcome to call that number at 626 698 0990. Now, I'm concerned about my regular people, um, how they're doing today, how they're doing. I'd like to hear from Leica from South Africa. I have some information about how you can talk to Mr. Davis. He'll consult you. It's got a reasonable fee for talking for 30 minutes. So, like, if you hear me out there or hear this recording, please call me. It's hard because I don't know how to text you or how to get a hold of you. I worry about Cruella, who is from Oxnard, California, and has two legal matters. One, she was evicted wrongly by her stepbrother out of the home that her mother owns, and she was a caregiver for her mother. Her mother's been missing for quite some time, and she's worried about the safety of her mother. She also has a second case with her two babies that are now with her stepdad that won't give them back to her. She has a CPS matter in Ventura County. There's Carrie Sampson from Burke County in Georgia, who calls me late at night or calls me all the time about issues. She doesn't understand why they're so corrupt. It's really sad. It's sad that the people in here. I've met a lot of nice people. I know I've helped out a lot of nice people. And Bartley, you are here. Good. I'm glad to see you. Bartley is um, from Montana, and she has a horrible case where they slammed her down and arrested her because she refused to open the door. Um, okay. Yes, it is very sad, Bartley. I know every day you think about missing your children. Bartley is from Montana. She's one of the favorite people of mine. I'm so glad to see you, Bartley. I'm so glad to see you. Sometimes this room and sometimes the people in the show are far and few. Now, I was talking about not letting them in your home, not talking to them, getting an attorney, um, watch out for the medical trafficking at hospitals and urgent care, an emergency room, and having a baby they'll try to take away. Do not give up your child. You have your rights to protect it. You have your rights to protect it. They're going to try to do their utmost to take your children away from you. Rule number 4 is how to use the internet and how to search. Now, my best search engine is Google Chrome, but it's important you paraphrase the words right. You start off with the city, the state, and if you're outside the United States, put the country. Then after that, put in bold letters, all caps, CPS. A lot of things will come up. If you want to further clarify it, put what you're looking for. I'm looking for a juvenile law, a family law, a dependency law attorney. So you just phrase that question, you'll get your answers. There's a new thing called Chat GPT, and Chat GPT uses the AI. You talk to an AI, and it's really good. I've used Chat GPT. It does work. I recommend that. I recommend that in entirety. Um, Now I know our show's running a little bit late, making up for some lost time here. I have a running time that shows me about 10 minutes left of this show. And I'm here. And Bartley's saying some more here. Um, you do not have to let them in your home. Photos are enough. You don't want to share. You want to ask what your attorney, it says there. They had their chance to come into your home. They have to have a warrant to search your home. Right now, if your home is clean and livable, that's something that you and your attorney can talk about. But invasion your privacy home, they're going to try to find something wrong with it. They did in my case. I had a beautiful 4 bedroom home close to the beach, very private neighborhood. And they tried to fine tune my home. They actually ruined my home because they walked with their combat boots and tracked mud and dirt. See, we don't allow shoes on in the house. We adopt an old Japanese custom, a wine custom, where you leave your slippers outside the door. You leave your shoes. And we have slippers if you want to wear something like that. But they ruined my house. They marched in and they poke at things, they look at things, they're looking for something. So that's why you don't want to let them in through or have a walk through your house. You know, they've already had their time to walk through the house. They don't need to walk through the house again. I mean, I don't know why they want to walk through your house now, Bartley, because they've already been in your house. They came in, busted the door down, and arrested you with a civil matter. And so um, you just say, on the advice of my attorney. And if you don't have an attorney, that's okay. They don't know that. They don't know that. Now, I did talk about Rule 4 about how to search the internet and chat GPT. Also, um, Rule 5 is documentations that you make copies of, like your birth certificate of your children, your report cards of your children, medical records of your children, shot cards, those kinds of things. Your birth certificate, your driver's license, your marriage license, important documents that you all you have to do is make copies and keep those copies together in an envelope with your notebook on documentation. That way they're always handy because they're going to ask for something. They're going to ask for something. So those are my 5 rules. They're kind of straightforward. I wish I had followed them because I probably would not have lost my daughter. But it's really a hard thing to go through. You need emotional support from friends. A lot of times the family and friends don't support you. And that's a hard concept to understand. That's a real hard concept to understand. Um, I don't know why they ended my live stream, but anyway, I want to thank you all. Um, hmm. I'll see you, Bartley. They ended my live stream, I guess.